history of ICDR. Will not go into detail into Genesis. Why? Because that is the past kind of information. We are concerned with the latest development. So the next part is conceptual understanding of important terminology. Yesterday, we have started with this particular part, important terminology related to ICDR, and we're going to discuss it in detail today. Modes of raising funds and compliance requirements. We are aware different kinds of financial instruments can be traded or exchanged under the traditional ICDR mechanism. कल हमने देखा था that there can be equity share, there can be preferential shares, there can be bonds, debentures, and typical cases there can be right issues, bonus issues, sweat equity, and other kind of issues. So different kinds of modes for raising funds. We discussed that in typical cases, in case of IPOs, you are selling securities to general public. It means when you are selling the securities, you are not aware who are going to acquire your securities. In case of private placement, you are aware who will be your buyer because you are going to make presentation to them only. And in private equity type of transaction, you are going to issue the securities to the known person only. So different kinds of investors are there, different kinds of investors are there, and financial instruments are there. So we are going to check out the compliance requirement from the point of view of company secretary, how one should deal with all these things. And then the lock-in requirement and the lock-in period and the requirement. Now, this is another new concept. Mr. Murthy, tell me about lock-in, what you are aware of.
Whatever shares that have been allotted, they can't sell it immediately. They need to hold it for certain period.
Very good. So whenever you are holding an investment in case of financial security, technically you are the owner of the security. So you may dispose, you may not dispose the security once they are allotted to you. Hypothetically, it is in the hands of the investor to decide when to dispose of or sell the shares and securities. But in typical regulations, lock-in period is the requirement. Means what? That once you have been allotted particular kind of security, though you are owner of the security, still you can't dispose of. Now tell me, is this correct standing or incorrect stand? That though the owner is having ownership on the share, still he can't impart the shares. Is that okay? What do you think? मोती साहब आपको क्या लगता है?
No, it is correct because so that the promoter should not run away from that.
Very good. So traditionally, the logic is having the shares in your possession means what? You are the complete owner. You can sell the security. But who is buying the security? Depending on that, this particular lock-in provision is applicable. So if you are promoter, and as per the regulation, certain kind of percentage of share should be brought in or purchased by the promoter himself. A typical case, dekho, that when we are talking about IPO, our assumption is, एक second, yesterday we got the diagram also. What was the diagram? That suppose a company X Limited wishes to share its securities to whom? General public. Assumption is whatever are the required fund. So suppose X Limited is raising shares worth rupees 1000 crore, okay, through general public, through an IPO. The regulations suggest out of this particular part, whatever you are raising from general public, some part should be contributed by the promoters of the company. So technically, whole 1000 crore worth rupees shares should not be issued to general public, but some part should be there as a contribution by the promoters. Now, why promoters should contribute in their own business? Mr. Murthy, what can be general logic?
So that they will be having their skin in the business.
Very good. So assumption is promoters' interest should be always there in the business of the company. आराम से समझो, because if the whole funding is through general public and the promoters are only going to use the fund, they are going to be the users of fund, there are chances of malpractices and misappropriation. अपने हाथ में अगर लोगों के 1,000 करोड़ आए तो हम कैसे भी खर्चा करेंगे, अपने ही पैसे हो तो हम संभल के खर्चा करेंगे. इज दैट कॉमन सेंस? And are you getting the point that as you are contributing from your own pocket in your own business, you are going to use the money more meticulously or in proper way. And when the funds are collected through general public only, the interest will be less. So the logic suggests that every time, whenever there is an issue, certain part of the issue should be contributed by whom? The promoters. Now the twist is, suppose provision like this exists, promoters will buy these securities or contribute in the capital for a temporary period, and after a particular period or success of IPO, they may dispose of all the securities. Is that possible? That out of 100 crores, say 200 crore worth rupees securities should be brought in by money should be brought in by the promoters. Promoter will invest in this company 200 crore for say 1 month, and after success of IPO they are going to dispose of the security. So again they are not the owner. Whether that will create problem for the common investor in long term, question may answer is. Sanjay, are you getting the point? That when they are temporary owner, promoters are the temporary owner and general public is the continuous owner, that also create problem. That's why there are provisions regarding the lock-in. Now, typical case, what we have to learn, the additional concept, the concept of fast track issue. Murthy sir, are you aware of what is fast track issue? Mr. Murthy,
To some extent, sir. Yeah.
तो बोलो, क्या बोलो, जो भी मालूम है बोलो, फिर हम देखते हैं सही गलत. What is fast track issue?
Uh, Means the formalities that you need to follow will be very limited, and it is
Very good.
available only for the established companies.
Wonderful. The 100% is there that whenever you are having an Vikrant Limited is in need of funds as on today, and Vikrant wishes to raise funds through IPO or FPO. I will not get the funds in next week or next month. I have to wait around 12 months, 15 months, 18 months because of the procedural requirement. Now, whether it is problematic for a company that though IPO is a good way to collect funds from public, it is very much time consuming. क्या ऐसा होने का चांस है मिस्टर मूर्ति that we have to submit the initial draft offer, then SEBI is going to have queries on that, then we have to correct it, then we have to resubmit the documents, then again they are going to have certain kind of objections, then we are going to appoint merchant banker, he is going to ask the information and so on. So huge lengthy procedure is there when we are going to raise funds. Are you aware of that? आगे हम देखेंगे अलग अलग प्रोविजन में, है ना? आर यू अवेयर? या हमने सोचा और पैसे मिल गए, इतना इजी होता है या ये बड़ा गेम है? मिस्टर मूर्ति, ये काफी बड़ा गेम है. सो इन टिपिकल केसेस व्हाट मिस्टर मूर्ति सेड, फॉर special kind of establishment or a reputed business, this particular provision regarding getting the authentication of SEBI on your prospectus or the offer documents, now that particular provision is eliminated. मोती सर समझ आ रहा है कि हम सब अपना डेटा उनको देंगे, फिर वो चेक करेंगे, हमको वापस देंगे, इसमें ही ज्यादा टाइम जाता है. सो
Correct.
टिपिकल provisions are eliminated, and that is going to be your fast track issue. Okay. Then next part is regulatory requirement for IPO of IDR. Yesterday we discussed that in earlier part we are discussing Indian companies raising funds in Indian market, but in typical cases like IDR, the foreign companies or international companies, they are raising funds through Indian. Are you getting the point? So what are the other additional requirements we are going to check out under IDR? Then the regulatory framework for IPO by small and medium enterprises. Mr. Murthy, tell me why such kind of provision exists. Okay, so आसान है समझना.
Again, simplification.
Now it is a policy of the government to what, to promote the small and medium sector in the economy. So small and medium enterprises are normally not allowed to have an IPO again because of the stringent eligibility requirement. अरे हर कंपनी आईपीओ निकाल सकती है क्या? नो, देर आर सर्टन रेगुलेशंस एंड एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया. And normally who can be covered under this eligibility? The big companies, reputed established companies. Yesterday we did discuss 3 crore 1 crore net worth sales, ये वो बड़े conditions है. It might not be possible for the small and medium sized company to follow the rules. That's why separate provisions are there for small and medium. And the last one, yesterday we also discussed this. It is innovators growth platform. What is that, Mr. Murthy?
Startups.
Very good. Startups and the ventures where again they are not able to raise funds in traditional mean and not eligible for raising the funds in traditional manner. A separate kind of platform is provided to them known as innovators growth platform. So our exams point of view, all these three topics are important. Mark kar lo baaju mein that you are going to have a paper, sorry, question in your paper based on this. समझ आ रहा है? And are you getting the point? That as per my expectation, exam paper will carry a short note or simple question on IDR, small and medium, and innovators growth. ये देख के रखो क्या क्या है. Okay. Then the typical wordings and lesson outline. We are going to learn about various types of securities. We are going to learn about draft offer, letter of offer, red herring prospectus and prospectus. Then the applicability of ICDR, IPOs and FPOs, eligibility requirement. बाजू में mark करो. If you are writing important question in notebook, as per my opinion, this can be the important part. Eligibility requirement for IPOs and FPO. Who can contribute and what should be the initial requirement. Then promoters contribution. अभी हमने वो देखा था. Promoters contribution and lock-in. This is also a smaller part of regulation. Yesterday we discussed the original regulation ran in around 400 pages. बराबर है. तो क्या हमें पूरे 400 पेजेस पढ़ने हैं मूर्ति सर as an executive student?
No.
No. So what we have to do? We have to concentrate on basic important provisions. Correct? And the important provision is promoters contribution and what? The lock-in. After that, we got fast track FPO, then right issue, then preferential issue and QIP. Now this is the new word. What we learned, it is QIB. And here now, QIP. What is that? QIP क्या होता है मूर्ति साहब? क्योंकि आज वो अनुष्का नहीं है तो आप और मैं ही डिस्कस करेंगे क्योंकि बाकी लोगों का माइक चालू नहीं होता.
Replacing the money with QIBs.
Very good. So QIB is what? The buyer, the person, individual or group of investors. They are in QIB, and the way to allocate such funds to QIBs is called as QIP, Qualified Institutional Placement. ये हम आराम से बाद में देखेंगे. आगे चलो. Then innovators growth platform, small and medium enterprise, bonus, and lastly the lesson roundup. So let us directly jump to regulatory framework. So first part is ICDR and the types of issue that are covered under ICDR. We are aware the whole story starts with ICDR normally is related with IPO, secondly FPO, then private placement, then preferential issue, fifth one is qualified institutional placement, and these two are the typical types of issues. First one is the bonus, another one is right. Now what is bonus and what is right? Murthy sir, फिर से एक बार. बोनस क्या होता है?
Issuing free shares to the existing shareholders.
Issuing free shares to issuing.
A
Why we are
capitalization.
issuing?
Yes.
Huh?
To
Why company issues bonus share? That if company is earning profits, company is going to declare a dividend out of that profit, and dividend is the income of the investor. Is that so?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Correct. But suppose the profits are paper profit only, not realized in cash. Is that also possible? That
Yeah.
company is earning profit, but enough cash is not there in hand. So what will happen? Whether company can pay dividend out of profits which are not realized but which are there on paper. तो क्या उससे डिविडेंड दे सकते हैं? No, because in India, what we have only cash payment of dividend. हम सिर्फ cash ही दे सकते हैं. So you are having profit. You have appropriated profit in earlier years. You have kept aside the profit, but you are not going to pay the cash because whenever you are going to pay dividend, whether there will be always cash outflow. अरे जब भी कंपनी डिविडेंड देती है तो क्या पैसा जाता है जेब से? Cash outflow is the basic feature of dividend payout or not. Correct. And in India, we got dividend distribution tax also. Mr. Murthy, are you aware? 2 साल पहले ये भी एक problem था. Have
Correct,
you heard
correct.
about dividend distribution tax? Means what? That whenever company is paying the dividend, this is the company, and company is paying dividend to whom? The investor. In addition to payout of what? Dividend, company has to pay dividend distribution tax. That was the original rule. ये पास्ट में ऐसा गड़बड़ था. ये तो डिविडेंड भी देना पड़ता है और साथ में डिविडेंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन टैक्स किसको देना है? गवर्नमेंट को. So whether that can be taken as a double problem for or two sided outflow for company. डिविडेंड में भी पैसा जाएगा, टैक्स में भी पैसा जाएगा. तो कंपनी के हाथ में जो वर्किंग कैपिटल है वो इधर ही चला जाएगा. Whether that is problematic for company? Yes, so in such case, instead of giving cash as dividend and paying cash as dividend distribution tax, company ignore this route and company pay bonus shares to whom? Again the investors. Are you getting the point? So bonus shares means cash में profit देना या paper पे profit देना. Transfer of cash profit or paper profit. ये हमेशा याद रखो. What is
Paper
paper
profit.
profit? Are you getting the point? So whatever bonus, whatever profits and reserves, two words are there. Profits means normally current profits, and reserves means the past profits accumulated in the records. तो ये इससे हम क्या देंगे उनको? बोनस देंगे. Okay. हेलो, मेरा नेटवर्क कनेक्शन मूर्ति साहब थोड़ा इधर उधर हो रहा है. 1-2 मिनट रुकिए, मैं दूसरे पे स्विच करता हूँ.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
ओके. हेलो हेलो
Yes, sir.
मूर्ति हो गया चालू अभी
Yeah,
दिख
we
रहा
are
है
able to.
हाँ
Yeah,
वो जरा मेरा कनेक्शन का प्रॉब्लम है सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट मैं वही भूल गया बोनस इशू that when company is having sufficient cash balance it is going to declare dividend and it is always beneficial for the investor because they are getting cash return. But when sufficient cash balance is not there, or it is the policy of the board of the company not to part with the cash balance, they are going to declare the bonus issue. So, assumption is whoever is in need of money will sell such extra bonus shares in market and will get funds from the market. तो कंपनी के जेब से कुछ पैसा नहीं जाएगा बोनस शेयर देना है सिर्फ वो लेने का काम कौन करेगा सेकेंडरी मार्केट में बेच के करेंगे so for this bonus issue also there are certain provisions available in ICDR. अभी ठंडे दिमाग से देखो whether in ICDR considering the other kinds of issue bonus issue is a fit scenario or situation ये मुझे आराम से आंसर दो check out because in other kind of issues for example what we are checking out first kind of issue is IPO other kind of issue is FPO तो क्या यहाँ पे पैसा मिलता है इन IPO FPO प्राइवेट प्लेसमेंट प्रेफरेंशियल इशू QIPs are you going to get funds you means company and
yeah,
in all these CQ scenarios, the companies will get the funds and the company is going to issue security. So the part which is not fitted in the structure is bonus because only capital is issued in bonus and there is no cash inflow. Are you getting the point? तो पैसा कहाँ पे नहीं है बोनस में नहीं है बाकी सब जगह पे पैसा है so SEBI is interested in what regulating the cash transaction hypothetically or non cash transaction SEBI is there to protect the investor. So assumption is when investor is paying the money and buying the security, then SEBI will play a huge role. But when in bonus situation like bonus, when there is no issue as such, still SEBI got certain kind of regulation. अभी आराम से देखो. Do we have these kind of provision related to bonus in Companies Act also? मूर्ति सर क्या ये डबल रेगुलेशन है because company act got its own provision regarding bonus and simultaneously SEBI also got new additional provisions regarding the bonus. Have you got the point? अरे तो
yes,
यहाँ पे
sir.
हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा we have to learn it in two fold way what company law says and what SEBI says. अबे आराम से आंसर दो do we have provisions in company law regarding qualified institutional placement अरे
I am
QIP के
not sure.
प्रोविजन नो वेरी गुड बिकॉज कंपनी लॉ इज द जनरल लेजिस्लेशन ये QIP वगैरह
Yeah,
ये स्पेशल सिनारियो है तो उल्टा होने का चांस है इन टिपिकल केसेस देयर आर नो प्रोविजंस इन कंपनीज एक्ट बराबर एंड इन टिपिकल
correct.
केसेस देयर माइट बी ओवरलैपिंग प्रोविजन हैव यू गॉट द पॉइंट
Yeah,
ये थोड़ा थोड़ा दिमाग में हमको डालना है सिमिलरली द सेम केस इज देयर फॉर व्हाट द राइट इशू ऑफ सिक्योरिटी मूर्ति सर व्हाट इज राइट
that is raising money by issuing shares to the existing shareholders.
technically in IPO to whom you are issuing the shares general public.
Public.
Correct.
Yeah,
In further issue, same logic. You are issuing securities to general public. In QIBs, you are issuing to financial institution or for portfolio investor and other kind of bankers and other kind of investor. In right issue, what you are doing, you are issuing share to the existing. Now tell me why this is not equal to FPO. ये FPO जैसा क्यों नहीं है? In right also you are issuing in second manner or in a subsequent manner in further also you are issuing it in subsequent तो बोलो दोनों में फर्क क्या है
no, public is not there, no, sir.
very good in further public offer the word is public and here the word is the right of the existing holder so the basic structure is existing holders are going to contribute for the funds that is right issue now tell me what will happen to the company if outsiders are investing in company and if existing holders are investing in company two different scenarios are there you are issuing shares to the outsiders and you are issuing shares to the insiders what will happen to the performance of the company क्या लगता है तुमको Mr. Murthy what
The
will happen to
disclosure requirement will be much less, sir. I think.
first one disclosure requirement will be much less now that is the procedural part I am asking about the functioning of the company when you are raising funds by having FPO, follow on offer, further offer to general public, and second one you are issuing through right issue. बेसिक में क्या
In
फर्क
the
पड़ेगा?
sense you, yeah,
Hmm.
you will be knowing whom to approach and
First one, you will be
first
knowing to
evidence.
whom to approach, and the real story is normally the existing controlling structure and pattern is not going to change when you are issuing securities to the existing holder. Correct?
Correct, correct.
You are not issuing it to the outsiders. इनसाइडर्स को ही दे रहे तो एग्जिस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर चेंज होने का चांस क्या रहता है? कम रहता है. बट व्हेन यू आर हैविंग एफपीओ, एनीवन फ्रॉम जनरल पब्लिक कैन सब्सक्राइब. वो कैन दैट such kind of issue may result into change in the ownership structure or dilution of equity. Have you heard this word, dilution of equity?
Yes, sir. Yes.
What is that dilution of equity?
In the sense, existing shareholders' percentage will come down.
Means what? The controlling persons for the company might be changed because of dilution. Is that possible? That Vikrant
Correct.
holds 40% shares in Vikrant Limited, but when he is having an IPO or FPO, his competitor Sanjay, Hannah, and Murthy are buying the securities. So this might be challenge for Vikrant in future. Is that possible?
Correct. Correct.
Correct.
Possible.
So in case of right issue, normally company issue the shares to the existing holder. Now tell me whether there is a cash transaction in that. In right issue, whether cash is involved or
Yeah,
just
yeah. It
like
is
bonus, they
involved.
are also free.
No, no, no. It is involved.
Very good. So the bonus issue is only the part covered by ICDR where there is no moment of cash. Correct. And for
Correct.
other scenario, who are buying the securities, depending on that the story will change. Correct. Who are buying
Correct.
in
Correct.
IPO, general public, FPO, general public, then qualified institutional placement, QIBs, in preferential issue, known person. Correct. So all these types of issue depends on to whom we are issuing security and what is the consideration. Correct. So the consideration game is also important, but the topic is, or the title of the regulation is issue of capital. So there can be issue of capital in all these scenarios. Now we got the explanation in the module itself. What is QIB? What is bonus? We are not discussing that. Then we got three kind of documents when we are having such initial offer or offer of capital to public. First one is draft offer, second one is offer, and third one is red herring prospectus. Let us discuss these three things. मोती सर बोलिए क्या ये तीनों में फर्क है कुछ? Start with draft offer. What do you mean by draft offer?
Draft offer means
नहीं मालूम तो ये सामने दिख रहा है वही पढ़िए, टेंशन मत लीजिए.
no. Draft offer means it will be filed with the SEBI in the beginning.
Very good. The word is beginning because
Yeah.
every document that is to be filed under IPO is with SEBI. Traditionally, two parties are there. First one either is it might be SEBI or it might be stock exchange. Or you are going to submit the papers to these two person. Correct है ना? एक तो
Correct.
SEBI को देना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो किसको देना पड़ेगा? स्टॉक एक्सचेंज को देना पड़ेगा. So कई बार दोनों को ही देना पड़ता है. So this is what the offer document at draft stage. Draft means what? Have you finalized it or you are just at the beginning or the initial stage? You are at the initial stage and you are going to check out whether you are complying with the whole 400 pages of the ICDR regulation. अभी हमने देखा only ICDR regulations are there or Companies Act is also there when you are issuing capital. Or you have to follow the provisions of memorandum, article, Companies Act, companies rules, as well as ICDR when you are raising the funds. क्या सही है? सिर्फ
Correct.
ICDR applicable होता है या पूरा सेट ही है?
पूरा सेट ही है.
पूरा सेट है. So that for that purpose, you have to first go with the draft and then after completing all the requirements, it will be finalized. Correct. So the initial document that is to be submitted is draft. The draft of a document are filed with SEBI for at least 30 days prior to the filing of offer document with ROC and stock exchange. Now one more party is there, ROC. So technically three persons are there. Who are these three persons? The SEBI, the Registrar of Company, and Stock Exchange. Hypothetically, ulta sequence hai. Who is the first person? ROC, then SEBI, and lastly the Stock Exchange. Correct. Why ROC is the most important person in the sequence? आरओसी का क्या स्टोरी है?
He is the controller of the company, no?
Very good. From the government's point of view, whenever you are going to start a company, you have taken permission from government through ROC only. हमको कंपनी खोलनी है, ये भी हमने आरओसी को बोला, हमें इतना पैसा चाहिए, ऑथोराइज कैपिटल इतना रहेगा, ये भी मेमोरेंडम हमने आरओसी को ही दिया। करेक्ट है ना? आरओसी को ही
Correct.
हमने बाय लॉज दिखाया आर्टिकल, तो आरओसी हमको फाइनली बोलेगा कि तुमको तुम्हारी कंपनी चालू करनी है नहीं करनी है, जो भी है। Are you getting the point? So you have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
submit these documents first, and the SEBI may specify changes if any. That this is the problematic part. May specify the changes. वो most of the time होते ही है, correct? And in the draft of a document, and the issuer and the lead merchant banker shall carry out such changes in the draft of a document. So what is the sequence? फिर से एक बार देखो, X Limited is the company, the party that is to be approached directly is ROC. Then you have to approach SEBI, and then you have to approach the stock exchanges for the sake of listing. But whenever you are going to approach these person, you are not going to approach directly. फिर से एक बार देखो, X Limited company is specialized in manufacturing of electronic equipment. तो एक्स लिमिटेड को मालूम है कि पंखे कैसे बनाए, टीवी कैसे बनाए, फ्रिज कैसे बनाए। वेदर एक्स लिमिटेड इज फैमिलियर विथ ऑल द रूल्स रेगुलेशन एंड अदर प्रोविजंस ऑफ कंपनी लॉ? क्या एक्सपेक्टेड है मूर्ति साहब? ये सब
No,
कंपनियों को सब मालूम है? नो। सो व्हाट इज द स्टोरी? that X Limited, before going to these person, firstly should meet with whom? The merchant banker. Correct? So merchant banker is nothing but the advisor for the company, and who is going to comply on behalf of company all the requisite requirements as per different enactments and regulations. करेक्ट? तो एक्स लिमिटेड पहले किसको अप्रोच करेगा? मर्चेंट बैंकर को। मर्चेंट बैंकर विल एडवाइज द कंपनी रिगार्डिंग the issue size, type of security, other terms and condition. The merchant banker will prepare the draft offer. आराम से देखो, who is in need of money? X Limited. But X Limited has assumed as no knowledge of what? The financial market and the legal system. तो ये सब काम किसको दे दिया, बाहर आउटसोर्स किया, ऐसा assumption है? Mr.
intermediaries.
Intermediate. Who is the intermediary at this point? Merchant banker.
Merchant bank.
So who is going to prepare this draft offer document? Merchant
Merchant
banker.
bank.
Very good. So X Limited is submitting offer document or draft to the SEBI. ये रियल में क्या होता है? X Limited has appointed merchant banker, and merchant banker is submitting on behalf of X Limited. Correct? So if
Correct.
there are any queries raised by SEBI and other authorities, who has to comply? Not X Limited. Assumption is what? It is the merchant banker who is going to take the initiative to change the contents of the offer document and comply with the provisions. Are you getting the point?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what is the line? The SEBI may specify the changes in the offer document, and the issuer and the lead merchant banker shall carry out such changes in the offer document before filing the offer with ROC and SC. So ROC and SC मतलब कौन? ये दूसरे लोग। ROC, रजिस्टर ऑफ कंपनी एंड स्टॉक एक्सचेंज। इससे पहले रेगुलेटर कौन बन गया? The original regulator is the SEBI. बराबर? बट इफ यू आर नॉट अ लिस्टेड कंपनी एंड यू आर अ नॉर्मल कंपनी, तो क्या तुमको सेबी पिक्चर में आता है? अरे नॉर्मल कंपनी विशेष टू रेज कैपिटल, अनलिस्टेड कंपनी, तो क्या सेबी आएगा पिक्चर में? नो। तो वहां पे अथॉरिटी कौन होंगे? आरओसी। हैव यू गॉट द पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
बराबर? बट फॉर द सेक ऑफ आईपीओज लिस्टिंग एंड अदर थिंग्स, सेबी इज द अथॉरिटी. So the offer or document is available at SEBI's website for public comments for a period of 21 days from the filing of draft offer. Now tell me, this is the matter in between company and SEBI. Company has appointed merchant banker. He has prepared the offer document, and he is now getting permission from SEBI. What public has to do and public comment has to do in this scenario? ये public किधर से आ गई बीच में?
It being a public issue, if anybody has got any reservation on any
Very good.
subject,
Any reservation, doubt, or any kind of extra information is needed by general public, because you are going to approach general public. Correct? So how public is going to approach you? So assumption is the document will be open for inspection on SEBI's website for 21 days, and then you are going to have what? Comment on such kind of issue. Have you gone through SEBI's site before?
No,
अरे
no, sir.
कभी देखा है क्या सेबी का?
नहीं.
नहीं गए क्या कभी? एक
Hmm.
सेकंड तुमको दिखाता हूँ, मैंने खोल के ही रखा था. वेट फॉर मिनट. सेबी की साइट तो देखिए क्या एटलीस्ट?
Yeah, that we have seen, but
हाँ,
these comments, offers, and those things we have.
वो नहीं देखा है. एक सेकंड रुको, वो भी देख लेते हैं. अभी चालू ही है तो. क्या स्क्रीन पे दिख रहा है सेबी का साइट?
No, sir, no. Yeah, now it's
ओके.
visible.
हाँ, नाउ अंडर द फाइलिंग टैब अंडर सेबी, यहाँ पे होता है देखो पब्लिक इशू. बड़ा करूँ क्या? दिख रहा है क्या?
ना दिख रहा है, दिख रहा है.
क्योंकि ये मेरा कंप्यूटर छोटा है इसलिए. दिख रहा है ना? Now,
Yeah, it's visible.
what are the subheadings under public issue? Draft offer document listed with SEBI, correct? Then
Yeah,
red herring documents listed with ROC. Then final offer document filed with ROC. So ultimate filing is with whom? Ultimate filing is with ROC, correct?
right.
But the initial filing is through SEBI, because the SEBI is there to protect the investor. So if you are going to click here, same is there for right issue also. Right issue में भी देखो draft letters of offer with SEBI for right, final letters. In date also, draft filed with stock exchanges ROC. In takeover code also, the letter of offer. तो जो भी है वो इधर देना है पहले SEBI को. Let us click here. Now here we got a list. On October 23rd, Siva Cement Limited draft letter of offer. So this is the letter of offer. एक बार ओपन करके भी देखते हैं, हमें पता चलेगा. Have you seen advertisement like this in newspaper?
Yes.
बराबर ना? But what we see is normally the first page. Check out here. There are around 303 pages. दिख रहा है ऊपर?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So the no, though the name is letter, actually it is actually a complete booklet
Book.
of the relevant prospect. वो 303 पेज में काफी बड़ा हुआ ना. तो ये
Hmm,
सब पूरा
correct.
इंफॉर्मेशन है, एंड दिस इज द टेबल ऑफ कंटेंट. एंड आफ्टर रीडिंग these documents, if you are not sure regarding a particular word, particular comment or particular information, you can have the query with SEBI. Are you getting the point?
Right, right.
तो
Right,
सेबी
sir.
को जाके बोलना है. सेम वे ऑन 12th ऑफ अक्टूबर स्कीपर लिमिटेड, लॉयड्स इंजीनियरिंग, सकुमा एक्सपोर्ट, ये पूरे है. Are you getting the point? A date
Yeah.
wise details are there. Now, why dates are important? Simple point is the whole story of the system of ICDR. Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
So we are talking about what the draft offer, which is the first stage in every kind of IPO and FPO kind of issues. So it is available for public comment for 21 days. Then the second part is actual offer document. Offer document means what? The prospectus in case of a public issue and or offer of sell, and letter of offer in case of right issue. So there are two subtypes. So the heading is offer document, correct? And offer document can be of two types. First one is prospectus, and other one is what? Letter of offer. Whether both things are more over same, Mr. Murthy?
They are different, I think.
Nahin,
They are
actually
different.
both are same.
Yes.
Prospectus and letter of offer, 99% part is same in both cases, but
Okay.
depends on what whom you are selling. The disclosures vary, correct?
Okay.
Because the
Mm.
letter of offer is the word used for what? The right issue.
It's
So
issue.
technically, those who are existing holders of the company, whether they are already aware the name of the company, promoters of the company, past performance, risk involved, whether all these things are already known to such persons who are going to subscribe for right issue.
They will not be.
अरे राइट वालों को मालूम होगा ना, राइट मतलब मैं
राइट
ऑलरेडी
वालों को
शेयर लेके
मालूम
रखा हूँ,
होगा,
मालूम होगा,
पब्लिक को
मगर वो
मालूम।
किसको नहीं मालूम होगा? That will not be known to the new general
पब्लिक।
public in prospectus. So that part of disclosure varies in case of prospectus and letter of offer. Moreover, the offer document and the basic logic is same, correct? So the purpose of offer document is what कल आपने बोला था, to make the informed decision. Whatever are the risk involved in the investment, who are the promoters, how they are going to run the company, and the whole story, the that particular part will be there under the offer document, correct?
Yes, sir.
So final offer document filed with SEBI. So let us have a look on what the final offer document, and then we'll go for the red herring. Hana, are you getting what is going on? Hana को पूछा ही नहीं. Mr. संजीव एंड मिस्टर हैना, ये दो लोग हैं ना अपने. क्या दिख रहा है? Again, the final offer, correct? Public
Yeah.
issue, the final offer. So let us have a final look on a final offer. November 9, EASF Small Finance Bank, Onsa Consumer Limited. Let us look on this. So this is the final offer document. Means what? They have already filed the basic document draft. SEBI inquired about the content and other proofs and queries. Merchant banker resolved the queries and other details. And now we got this prospectus for Honsa. Correct? So this is again 431 pages document. Okay. And what is written here? It is prospectus. Okay. So what are the contents of prospectus? Check out. We'll go to the index page only. First one is general information. Second one, the risk factor. Third one, introduction, the offer and other information regarding the company. Then about the company, the whole story of the company, regulation and regulators, history, management, promoters and information of promoters, dividend policy. Then financial information. ये सबसे बड़ा part होता है. Here you are going to have the P&L, balance sheet, the statement regarding indebtedness, management discussion, analysis, and so on. Then we have legal information. How many litigations are pending? How many material developments are there and important contracts are there? What is the status of government approval and so? And the last part is offer information, the term of offer and the rest of the thing. And lastly, the description of securities and other information. Have you got the point? So when you are ready with all these information as approved by SEBI, we are talking about what? The final kind of prospectus. Mr. Murthy, क्या ये हमने देखा था कभी final prospectus?
In the sense, I have not gone through thoroughly. Yeah.
ठीक है, तो अभी एक बार आराम से, don't go thoroughly, only read
Yeah.
the index page only to understand
Okay.
what kind
Okay.
of compliance is necessary. Okay,
Right. Right. Right.
ठीक है. है ना? आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? वो आंसर दे रही है शायद से, मैंने देखा नहीं। यस सर बोल रही। ओके मिस्टर
हाँ,
संजय। तो इसको भी मालूम होना चाहिए। सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट? द फाइनल डॉक्यूमेंट। द module suggests final the offer document means prospectus in case of public issue, or offer for sale and letter of offer in case of right issue. Now the new word is what? Offer for sale. Let us have a look on this. That what we normally assume, that company is on one side, company wishes to sell its securities to general public, and company is going to collect funds from general public. Is this normal?
yes,
बराबर. But the typical case or the new point not discussed here is what? The offer for sale. नया वर्ड क्या है? ऑफर फॉर सेल. हाँ तो बोलो मिस्टर मूर्ति, व्हाट इज ऑफर फॉर सेल?
that is the existing shareholders are offering part of their
Why?
shares into to the public.
अभी आराम से देखो, स्टोरी देखो. द स्टोरी, द गेम इज लाइक दिस. एक्स
Mhm,
लिमिटेड इज द कंपनी. X
mhm,
Limited is in need of 500 crore.
correct.
X Limited is going to issue security worth rupees 500 crore to whom? To general public.
Correct.
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 So they are going to issue the securities and they are going to collect the
Yeah.
money. Is that normal?
Correct.
Yes. बराबर. तो
Yeah.
यहाँ पे एग्जिस्टिंग होल्डर किधर से आ गए?
That is because they need to give them an exit opportunity. They may be private
वेरी
equity
गुड.
fund.
सो दिस इज अ टोटली न्यू थिंग. अभी आराम से समझो, है ना? यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. That when we are talking about X Limited, we assume that there are certain promoters of X Limited. Correct. There might be certain relatives and other friends who have contributed in the beginning for the company's growth and development. There might be certain private equity players who have contributed out of their own pocket to X Limited. क्या ऐसे X Limited के already existing holder हो सकते हैं? अरे अगर कंपनी चालू हुई है तो उसके प्रमोटर तो होंगे. बराबर है. फ्रेंड्स एंड रिलेटिव भी होने का चांस है. कोई तो प्राइवेट इक्विटी प्लेयर भी होने का चांस है. Now the story is, now under this original structure, आराम से बोलो, is this a widely held company or closely held company? एक मिनट.
Closely held company.
Hello. So whether this can be taken as a closely held company X Limited, when
Yeah, yeah.
promoter holds around 50% of the capital, the friends and relatives hold 30% of the capital, and private equity holder invested 20%. Okay. So this is closely held company started with say capital of 100 crore only. तो पुरानी कंपनी में 100 करोड़ का कैपिटल है, ये लोगों के पास है. Now company is going for IPO, and how much company is going to raise? 500 crore, a huge amount. कैसा ही है? Yes. But suppose company is a good company, profit making company, paying dividend to its holders. Whether investor will pay for these shares? अरे अगर ये अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी है तो क्या ये लोग ले लेंगे?
ले लेंगे.
Very good. But the twist is now, suppose company is performing good, whether company is going to issue securities for face value rupees 10 to general public, or they are going to charge premium for that?
Premium.
Premium. So assumption is the face value of share is 10, premium is 90, company is going to collect 100 rupees per share from general public. Correct. अभी ठंडे दिमाग से देखो. Now, whenever this company was established in past, whether the promoters had paid premium or they have subscribed the shares at the face value of 10 only.
That depends. Even if they had paid premium, it must be very low. In the
वेरी
beginning,
लो,
at least.
वेरी गुड. इन द बिगिनिंग देयर माइट नॉट बी प्रीमियम एज सच, क्योंकि हाइपोथेटिकली प्रीमियम के लिए उनके पास कोई रिकॉर्ड ही नहीं है. वो बोलते
Correct.
भी है कि हमको प्रीमियम दो. ऑन व्हाट बेसिस दे आर गोइंग टू चार्ज प्रीमियम? दैट इज द assumption. So normally they have collected 10 rupee from company, has collected 10 rupee from the promoters. They have paid 10 rupee and collected one share. Now is this a good opportunity to earn income on the investment? 10 रुपए का शेयर कितने रुपए में बिक रहा है अभी? 100. Extra 90 is clear cut profit that is to be earned by the company or not?
Correct.
Correct. Now, who is earning? Company. But whose efforts are there? The efforts are of the relatives and promoters and a private equity player. Is that so? और ये
Yeah.
लोगों ने पहले पैसा डाला इसलिए कंपनी भी अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है. करेक्ट. सो इन दिस
Correct.
टिपिकल केस, whenever there is issue of this 500 crore, the promoters might suggest that we are also going to sell shares worth rupees 50 crore from our holding. क्या ऐसा हो सकता है?
Hmm.
बराबर. So what is happening
Correct.
now? X Limited is issuing security to general public. पहला transaction क्या हो रहा है? This is transaction number one. X Limited approaching whom? General public. And simultaneously the promoters, this is the second scenario, are also approaching whom? General public. Now फिर से एक बार, whether general public is interested in shares of X Limited or shares of promoters of X Limited, जनरल पब्लिक को कुछ लेना देना है क्या कि हु इज सेलिंग?
नहीं
whether
नहीं.
X Limited is selling fresh shares or promoters are selling new shares or existing shares, ऐसा कोई लॉजिक ही नहीं. जनरल पब्लिक
नहीं.
को क्या चाहिए? शेयर्स चाहिए.
Yes. That's
तो
all.
कंपनी से मिला तो वेल एंड गुड, प्रमोटर से मिला तो भी ठीक है, पैसा तो उनको देना ही है किसी को तो. बट वेदर दिस कैन बी टेकन एज what Mr. Murthy said, exit opportunity to the private equity players or not? ये प्राइवेट इक्विटी
Yeah.
वालों ने पहले पैसे डाल के रखा था एंड नाउ दे आर गोइंग टू अर्न 9 times मोर बिकॉज फेस वैल्यू इज 10, प्रीमियम इज 90. सो वॉट एवर दे हैव इन्वेस्टेड दे आर गोइंग टू गेट ह्यूज मनी इन रिटर्न. इज दैट पॉसिबल?
Possible.
सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज व्हाट? अरे दिस सिचुएशन इज कॉल्ड एज ऑफर फॉर सेल्स by whom? Normally it is the promoters. Correct है? Are you getting the point? Offer for sale is normally made by whom?
Promoters. Yeah.
Existing holders. So who are the existing holders who are going to get big from this kind of transaction? They are the promoters, relatives, and the P. Have you got the point?
Yeah.
So what we are talking about? We are talking about the regulation that the offer document. Let us read again. The offer document means the prospectus in case of public issue or offer of sale, and दूसरा option था, and a letter of offer in case of right issue, which is filed with the ROC and stock exchanges. So the initial screening will be through ROC or SEBI.
SEBI.
Very good. The initial screening will be always with the authorities of SEBI, and the final document that are to be recorded in the records of ROC and the stock exchanges. Have you got the point? And the offer document reveals all the relevant information. Now, this is the point of distinction between offer document and red herring. What is the word here? All the documents, all the relevant information. Means what? There is certain phase in this calculation where we are going to have red herring prospectus. What is red herring prospectus? The prospectus which does not have all the details regarding the prices as well as the number of shares being offered. So what is traditional calculation? That suppose company is going to raise how much? 500 crore rupees. Company knows how much it is going to sell, 500 crore rupees. And what is the value or per share collection? As expected, 100 is the face value, 90 is the premium. Company is going to collect 100 rupees per share. So hypothetically, how many shares company is going to sell? 5 crore shares, correct? Whether
Yeah.
this can be the issue size or not, 5 crore shares are to be sold at a price of 100 rupees per share, where the face value is rupees 10 and the premium is rupees 90. All together 100, that leads to 500 crore. Now the point is, who is going to fix this premium of rupees 90? हाउ दिस अमाउंट इज डिटरमाइंड, ऐसा एक्चुअल क्वेश्चन है, बोलो। ये 90 प्रीमियम निकालता कौन है?
Merchant banker.
Very good. So, merchant banker, based on his expertise in the market, considering the market sentiment, considering the discounted cash flows and dividend expectation of the investor, he is going to suggest that pay 90 rupees. Now, it might be possible. अभी ठंडे दिमाग से देखो. In an investor exists, Mr. Vikrant, who thinks that this company X Limited is a very good investment opportunity. If they are selling share for 120 rupee per share, still I'm going to buy. Can that be opinion in the market regarding the company and future performance? अरे क्या ऐसा लग सकता है लोगों को कि भले ये कंपनी 100 में बेच रही है, ये 120 मांगती, फिर भी हम देते, क्या सही है? Correct. Another holder, Mr. Murthy, is there, who might think that 100 rupee is incorrect calculation. Maximum what I can pay is 90 rupees. So different person, different investor can have different perception regarding the price and the premium charged by the company or not. किसी के हिसाब से ये क्या
Yeah,
हो सकता है? ओवर वैल्यूड, तो किसी के हिसाब से ये क्या हो सकता है? Undervalued. Correct. Now,
correct.
what is the problem for company? The problem for the company is when the share is undervalued from the point of view of investor, they are ready to pay higher price for the shares, but company and the merchant banker is charging lower. Hypothetically, is that at that loss of company? अरे ये
Yeah,
100 रुपए का शेयर कितने रुपए में बिक सकता था? 120 में बिक सकता था, फिर भी हम कितने में बेच रहे हैं? सिर्फ 100 में। तो क्या सीधा इधर 20 रुपए का लॉस हो रहा है?
correct.
करेक्ट. सो इन दैट सिनारियो the procedure for bid is applied. Have you heard about bidding or auction?
Yes,
Auction क्या होता है?
that means each one is going to bid. The highest bidder is going to get the
Very good. Each one is going to quote his price as per his expectation, and the person with the highest expectation and ability and readiness to pay will get the product. क्या ये auction
correct.
का basic rule है? Correct. So instead of selling this share at flat 100 rupees, what was our original calculation? That face value of my company's share is 10. I'm going to charge premium of 90. Pay us 100 rupees per share. ऐसा अभी कंपनी नहीं बोलेगी. कंपनी क्या बोलेगी? That face value of company share is 10. You have to determine the premium and you have to determine and quote or bid for my company share. preceding 3 full years of 12 months each. Means what? That you should have assets worth rupees 3 crore. Assets should not be intellectual property, right kind of assets. And for 3 full years, you should have these assets. Now check out. Suppose Hannah started her business in the year 2022. Hannah ने last साल ही अपना business चालू किया है. Now she wishes to have an IPO. Is this allowed? Hannah, क्या लगता है तुझे? You have started your business in last year and now you wish to have an IPO. Is that allowed? संजय क्या लगता है? IPO अलाउ है कि नहीं है? क्या लगता है? Not allowed. Why? Very good. Why? No, no. Array, what I'm asking, she has started her business in last year. What condition says for each of the preceding 3 full years, she should have assets worth rupees 3 crore. So what is the precondition? That company should be in existence for at least 36 months. Are you getting the point? Means what? In the year 2022, she has started as business. She got say net tangible assets of 10 crore. She got huge assets. उसके पास asset है 10 crore. But whether 3 years has been elapsed? No. So whether she is eligible? No. Are you getting the point? उल्टा सोचो. Vikrant Limited is in business for last 10 years, but his net assets are only worth rupees 1 crore. So am I eligible? Very good. Still, I'm not able. Why? Very good. So not only the number of years, along with that, the value of net tangible assets should also be to be considered. Have you got the point? And one more condition is there that out of that, not more than 50% held in monetary asset. Means what? That you can't borrow only cash and you are showing cash as your asset. Tell me whether cash is asset. For any business, whether cash is an asset. अरे नो क्या नो for any kind of business cash is the primary asset or not. हर धंधे में कैश होती है कि नहीं? Every business got cash as asset. The twisted case is not more than 50% of the assets should be held in monetary asset. Means what? Check out typical case. Check out. Suppose this is my balance sheet. What I am saying, I am having land and building worth rupees 1 crore. Correct. I am having plant and machinery worth rupees 1 crore. And I am having bank balance of rupees 1 crore. What is my total asset? 3 crores. So whether I am fitting within the definition of eligible borrower or not. अरे क्या मैं eligible borrower हूँ? 3 crore worth rupees assets. Yes. But the another test is not more than 50% of the total assets should be monetary. So what is 50% of 3 crore? 1.5 crore. So I can have maximum balance of 1.5 crore. And if my balance is, now check out here, I don't have plant and machinery, I'm having bank balance of 2 crore. Now out of the 3 crore balance, how much maximum monetary assets I can have? 1.5. And how much I have right now as per the record? 2 crore. Are you getting the point? So you should not have cash balance in huge quantum in your balance sheet. You should have other assets also. Are you getting the point? That if you are interested in IPO, Sanjay, you have to keep some part of your asset in cash and not the whole. Hannah, are you getting the point? Sanjay, समझ आ रहा है क्या थोड़ा थोड़ा? Sanjay, are you getting what is going on? Very good. So 3 crore is the limit, 3 years is the term, and not more than 50% in monetary. Second, now the second case is, however, if more than 50% of net eligible assets are held in monetary asset, the issuer has utilized or made commitment for what? Utilizing excess monetary assets for its business and project. Means what? Now, though you are having 2 crore rupees as bank balance, how much maximum you can have? 1.5 crore. So you got 50 lakh rupees, 0.5 crore as what? Excess. Correct? So you have to show to SEBI that though I am having this 5 crore extra, I have kept aside these 5 crore, sorry, 50 lakhs for the sake of buying assets. So I'm going to purchase plant and machinery in future, and I'm creating this 50 lakh aside as a provision to pay to the machine supplier. Are you getting the point? So technically you should not have more than 50%. Secondly, you can have more than 50%, but you have to show that these assets are to be required for what? Purchasing another assets. This is the first condition. Let us check out the second condition. The issuer has average operating profit of at least 15 crore. Now, this is the new thing. Here we are talking about average. Average of what period? 3 preceding year. Same condition. That your company should be in functioning, working for at least 3 years, and the average profit should be 15 crore. Means what? Suppose 1 year you have earned profits of 10 crore. In second year, you have earned profits of 30 crore, and in last year you got losses of 10 crore. Whether this is possible? And in 1 year you got profit, another year you got loss. Is this normal for a company? Yes. So what is the total of last 3 years profit? It is 30 crore. And what will be the average profit? 30 crore by 3, it is 10 crore. Are you getting the point? So what is your average operational profit? 10 crore. So are you eligible? अरे कम पैसा होता है तो तुम एलिजिबल हो क्या? Are you getting the question? You are not eligible because the threshold is of what? 15 crore. Correct? So you should have that much amount. Mr. Lerner, are you getting the point? That for last 3 years, you have to calculate the profitability and then you have to make the average. Correct? And lastly, the third condition, the issuer has net worth of at least 1 crore. Now, what is the word net worth? What do you mean by net worth? Sanjay, have you heard about net worth?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
सर
नेटवर्थ क्या होता है?
नेटवर्क सर कॉम्बिनेशन सर सारी वेल्थ मिलाकर जितनी भी प्रॉपर्टी है कैश है पूरा नेटवर्क कितना टर्नओवर है सर।
तू अमन है क्या?
हाँ जी।
अरे तू लर्नर का को नाम लिखा है फिर? मुझे लगा कोई नया आदमी आ गया क्या? ठीक है, तो नेटवर्थ का क्या मतलब हुआ? नेटवर्थ मीन्स नॉर्मली द कैपिटल ऑफ द कंपनी प्लस the reserves and surpluses. Correct? This is the simple formula to calculate the net worth. So if company got capital plus surpluses, that is profits for earlier years, and the total is how much? 1 crore. Now again the twist is for each of the preceding 3 full years. The every story starts with what? Either taking average of 3 full years or considering 3 years functionality. So what do you mean by that? इससे क्या समझता है? That the new companies are not able to raise funds through IPO on Indian Stock Exchange. समझ आ रहा है? अरे नई कंपनी जो अभी अभी खुली है उन लोगों को ये करना अलाउ नहीं है. संजय, आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? बिकॉज व्हाट यू हैव टू प्रूव, अरे तुमको दिखाना पड़ता है कि 3 साल में हमारा एवरेज इतना है, 3 साल में हमारा नेटवर्थ इतना है, 3 साल में हमारे एसेट्स इतने. तो इनडायरेक्टली क्या नए लोग धंधा ही ना करे? अरे whether this is detrimental for new people or not, because unless and until 3 years are over, they are not allowed to have an IPO. Can that be a problematic situation? A new company, Hana has started a startup. Aman bhai dhyan rakh. You have started a startup, a good business is there. You wish to raise funds, but you are not allowed. Can that be a problem? You are in need of money, but you are not able to what? Raise the fund. So what to do? So if you are a new company and if you are not able to complete these 6-1 kind of regulation and condition, SEBI got a separate set of regulation called as 6-2. एक और regulation है 6-2. वो क्या बोलता है that if you are not able to complete this A, B and C or either of the condition, check out, you can directly issue the securities, but check out, however, in case of issuer does not satisfy the eligibility conditions stipulated above, it may make an IPO through book building process and undertake to allot at least 75% of the net offer to qualified institutional buyer. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ that if you are fulfilling all the conditions under section 6(1), then the company can approach general public and sell whatever number of shares to them under IPO. Correct? So company, which type of company अभी हमने देखा, this is to be taken as eligible company. बराबर? So eligible company will have an IPO and from general public they can raise the funds. But the twist is, suppose the conditions are not fulfilled in case of regulation 6(2), a company, फिर से एक बार देखो, can have IPO and can collect funds from general public, but the twist is the system of raising the funds should be book building. तो बुक बिल्डिंग का क्या मतलब हुआ, ऑक्शन लेना है, लोगों से भाव मांगने, जो सबसे ज्यादा भाव देगा उसको देना है. अभी आराम से आंसर दो. वेदर इन 6(1) द फर्स्ट कंडीशन, वेदर बुक बिल्डिंग इज मैंडेटरी. संजय, वेदर अंडर 6(1) इफ द कंपनी इज फुलफिलिंग ऑल द कंडीशंस, वेदर दिस काइंड ऑफ बुक बिल्डिंग इज ऑप्शनल. यस, इट इज नॉट कंपल्सरी. उसको चाहिए तो बुक बिल्डिंग करे, नहीं तो ना करे, डायरेक्टली बेचे. कैसा हो सकता है? That is called as what? Fixed price issue. Fixed price issue means what? The company is going to fix the price. 10 rupee is the face value, 90 rupee is the premium, total amount is 100. Those who are going to pay 100 will get one share. Whether this kind of issue is possible under 6(1) or not. अरे कंपनी भाव पक्का करेगी और देगी. अमन, समझ आ रहा है? तो ये कहाँ पे पॉसिबल है ना?
सर मैंने
क्या?
पढ़ा, सर ये अभी पढ़ा नहीं ना मैंने, मेरे लिए तो नया है
अभी
सर ये.
समझ आ रहा है?
मैं अभी
अभी
जो,
ज्वाइन
जो,
किया, इसे
हाँ
तुझे
ज्वाइन
समझ
किए
नहीं
ना
आ रहा
सर
है
अभी.
कि कंपनी जब शेयर बेचना चाहती है तो 10 रुपए का शेयर, उस पर 90 रुपए प्रीमियम दो और 100 रुपए हमको दो. ऐसा कब बोल सकती है? रेगुलेशन 6(1) में. मतलब जब तुमने क्या किया हो, सभी कंडीशन फुलफिल किए हो.
6(1)
करेक्ट?
में सर. ठीक है
6(1)
सर.
में, हाँ, सभी कंडीशन मतलब वो 15 करोड़, 1 करोड़, वो सब वो कंप्लीट किए वो. अगर
अच्छा.
कंपनी 3 साल से छोटे ड्यूरेशन की है, अभी अभी चालू हुई है, और जिसके पास क्या नहीं है उतना नेट एसेट, और वो 5 करोड़ 10 करोड़ वो पूरा नहीं हो रहा है, स्टिल इट कैन सेल सिक्योरिटीज और नॉट. यस, मगर उनको क्या बोला है? योर इशू शुड बी थ्रू बुक बिल्डिंग. मीन्स यू शुड नॉट कोट द प्राइस, बट द इन्वेस्टर विल डिसाइड एंड ऑक्शन द शेयर्स. मतलब अब इस तुम्हारे शेयर का सही भाव कौन है, ये तुम नहीं बोलोगे, वो कौन बोलेगा? ये इन्वेस्टर बोलेगा, whether the price is correct or not. And most importantly, in addition to that, one more condition is there, that at least 75% of the offer should be made to whom? QIB. क्या मतलब हुआ कि तुम जनरल पब्लिक को सीधा ये बेच नहीं सकते. जनरल पब्लिक को सिर्फ कितना बेच पाओगे? You will be able to sell only 25% shares to general public, but
75
75%
QIB को.
QIB को, मतलब बैंक को बेचना है.
हाँ
अभी
सर.
आराम से
कौन?
दो. Which method is beneficial for common investor, 6(1) or 6(2)?
सर 6(1).
Very good, because in 6(1) they can subscribe whole of the part of issue. IPO समझो निकल रहा है 100 करोड़ का, तो 100 करोड़ के 100 करोड़ को शेयर किसको मिलने का चांस है? जनरल पब्लिक को मिलने का चांस है. बट अंडर 6(2), if the value is of 100 crore, only 75 crore will be given to Qs are there specifically under 6(2). अबे ठंडे दिमाग से देखो, because in 6(2) the company is not following the three conditions. What are the three conditions? फिर से एक बार देखो, the net tangible asset criteria, similarly, well, 3 crore for past 3 years plus 15 crore rupees operating profit criteria and net worth of 1 crore. तो ये जिसके पास है तो क्या ये ऑलरेडी अच्छी कंपनी है? अरे hypothetically, is this as a good investment? That company is having assets worth rupees 3 crore. They are earning profits of 15 crore for 3 years. They are having net worth of 1 crore. Is this a good company?
यस सर, बड़ी
तो
बढ़िया
in 6-2 अभी आराम से आंसर दो. फुलफिल कर रही है या इसमें से कोई फुलफिल नहीं कर रही है? और इफ दे आर नॉट फुलफिल्ड देन यू विल गो फॉर व्हाट 6-2. 6-1 के कंडीशन फुलफिल नहीं होते तो ही हमें कहाँ पे जाना है? 6-2 में. मतलब
2 में जाना
कंपनी
है।
बड़ी नहीं है, कंपनी नई कंपनी है, हमको मालूम ही नहीं, तो क्या यहाँ पे रिस्क इन्वॉल्व है? अरे कंपनी इज नॉट हैविंग
यस सर,
tangible
हाँ
assets of 3 crore, it is not
हाँ जी
having
हाँ जी
profits of 15 crore, company is not having net worth of 1 crore. So investing in this company might be dangerous for investor or not.
सर, डेंजरस फॉर इन्वेस्टर सर,
हाँ, तो
कुछ
इसलिए सरकार क्या बोलती है कि इफ सच कंपनी विशेष टू व्हाट रेज द फंड्स 75% पार्ट शुड बी सोल्ड टू whom? QIB. अभी आराम
क्यूआईपी।
से ध्यान दे. QIB ये लोग कौन है? ये बड़े बड़े बैंक लोग हैं, ये फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस है. एंड हु आर द अदर पर्सन? ये तू खुद है, अमन. अभी आराम से आंसर दे. अमन को ये सब समझना, रिस्क समझना ज्यादा आसान है या बैंकर वाले लोगों को ज्यादा समझ आएगा?
सर, बैंकर वाला लोगों को ज्यादा समझ में
वेरी
आएगा
गुड.
सर।
सो दैट्स व्हाई इन 6-2 क्या बोला गया है? 75% शेयर शुड बी सोल्ड टू QIB.
अलोकेट टू क्यूआईपी।
वेरी गुड. तो कंपनी को बोला है कि अगर तुम अपने शेयर भी जितना बेचना निकालते हो उसमें से 75% QIB को बेच पाते हो तो भी 25% जनरल पब्लिक को बेचो. इसका मतलब किसको टोपी ना डालो? अरे यू शुड नॉट चीट जनरल पब्लिक. करेक्ट है?
हाँ जी हाँ जी
क्योंकि
हाँ
एक
जी,
तो तुम
सही।
नए लोग हो और स्टार्टअप हो, तुम्हारे पास फायदा भी नहीं है और तुम ये आगे काम कर रहे हो. कैन दैट बी अ प्रॉब्लम? हेलो 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 मिस्टर
हेलो सर।
संजय. आई एम फेसिंग ह्यूज प्रॉब्लम फॉर इंटरनेट. वो कनेक्शन आता है जाता है. अभी आवाज आ रही है क्या थोड़ी थोड़ी?
Yes, sir।
हम्म.
आ रही है सर, आ रही है।
Okay. So what was the condition, Anna? That if you are a good company under 6-1, you have to complete the criteria and you can have fixed price issue. There is no restriction regarding how much sales are to be sold to QIB. Correct? Or if you are not complying with the provisions, then you should go for 6-2. Now tell me, when Hannah has started business in last year 2022, can she have an IPO? Hannah या संजय कोई भी आंसर दो. Hannah has started her business in last year. Whether she can have an IPO, संजय. हाँ, तुझे क्या लगता है अमन भाई, तू बोल. No, the answer is yes. आराम से समझो. Because Hannah has started business in last year, so automatically she will not be able to complete 6-1 criteria for running the business for 3 years. Correct? So the new company will not be able to raise funds through 6-2. Sorry, 6-1. But what is the via media? But if she is interested in raising money, she got the 6-2 option. Means what? She still can have an IPO, but it should be through book building, and 75% of the total issue should be issued to whom? The qualified institutional buyer. Have you got the point? You have got the point. So tell me whether new company Sanjay will be able to raise funds. So answer is yes, not under 6-1, but under 6-2. Okay. But existing company, Tata, Birla, Ambani, whether they can have 6-1. Very good. Very good. Because they are running for more than 3 years and their capital might be for more than 1 crore, profitability might be more than 15 crore. And so, have you got the point? So, this is the eligibility criteria for the basic 6-1 and 6-2. Now, we got one case in your module. Barabar? The same case can be there in your paper. So, read it properly and find out what is the speciality in this case. We will discuss it in tomorrow. Correct? This is the case type of example regarding eligibility condition. Again, we got second case, correct? And this is third case. So all three cases under 6-1 are elaborately discussed in your module. Okay, so read it at home. This is your homework, and find out whether the company is eligible for issuing the shares under IPO. Okay, now general condition. What are general condition? Means these are the common condition, simple condition. First one, an issuer making an initial public offer shall ensure that first, it has made an application to one or more stock exchange to seek in principle approval. Now tell me, you are a new company, you are unlisted company, you wish to raise funds through general public. So whether you have to provide these facility of secondary market to your holders or not. अरे आज तुम जिसको शेयर बेचोगे अंडर प्राइमरी मार्केट दे विल बी योर ओरिजिनल होल्डर्स. संजय, सपोज यू आर बाइंग शेयर्स फ्रॉम मी विक्रांत लिमिटेड अंडर IPO, and when you are in need of fund, you should be able to sell such securities in market or not. Whether this very good. So when you are going to sell, whether the platform should be available for the sake of selling security. Yes. Now who is going to provide that platform? Thus no, not FPO. Suppose you are subscribing shares from me, you are the investor, Vikrant Limited is company, you have purchased shares worth rupees 5 lakh. Now you are in need of money, you wish to sell the securities. Now how you will get the fund back? Common sense, if my shares are listed on Bombay Stock Exchange, you are going to contact broker on Bombay Stock Exchange and you will order him to sell your security. Correct? So if you are in need of funds, the share should be listed or not. Very good. So the second condition is what? That the company, the issuer making an initial public offering shall ensure that it has made an application to one or more stock exchange to seek the in principle approval. Because right now in the beginning, do we have shares sold to shareholders or we are in the process of selling the share? When we are having an IPO, we have not sold shares to the general public. That's why the word is in principle approval. Means we have to first ask the BSC and NSC regarding what are the terms and conditions for listing on stock exchanges by them. Every exchange is going to have their own system of listing and listing regulation in the initial days. Right now we have a common LODR agreement. पहले ऐसे नहीं होता था. पहले क्या होता था? BSC might have different rules, Calcutta Stock Exchange might have different rule, NSE might have different rule. So wherever you are interested to list your securities, you have to ask the exchange regarding what are your eligibility norms. Right now, a common provisions or common rules are there under LODR. So hypothetically, you have to check the LODR and find out whether you are eligible or not. Okay, and you have to get the in principle approval. Means you have to provide your information to stock exchange, and you have to get in principle, means the basic fundamental type of approval. This is not the final approval. When you are going to sell all your securities, when you are going to furnish all the details, when you are going to pay for the listing fees of the stock exchange, then you are to be actually listed. And are you getting the point? That initially we are talking about what are the rules and regulation. We are submitting the basic documents and we are getting the in principle approval from them. This is the first condition. It has entered into agreement with depository and dematerialization of security. Means what? As per the new norms, the issue should be in dematerialized form. Means what? Physical share certificates are not to be issued to the shareholders, but instead of that, electronic certificates should be issued. So you have to make an agreement with whom? Depository. Are you getting the point? So firstly, you should have an agreement with stock exchange. Then you should have agreement with whom? The depository. Third one, all its specified securities held by the promoters are in dematerialized from prior to filing of offer document. Means what? The promoters should not held their securities in physical form, but they should be in the dematerialized form. Means what? Once the dematerialized securities are there, government can track the NSDL, CDSL can track the transfer of ownership from one person to another. Are you getting the point? Sanjay, samajh aa raha hai? If the shares are in physical form, it might be very much difficult to decide who is selling security, who is buying the security, because it is personal transaction in between two person. But when the shares are in demat form, Vikrant is selling his shares to Hannah, Hannah is selling her shares to Sanjay, everything is tracked. Are you getting the point? So in demat securities, tracking of the ownership of share is possible. So the rule suggests everything should be in what? Demat form from the promoter's holding part. Then all the existing partly paid up shares, equity shares, have either been fully paid up or have been forfeited. Now this is a typical case that you can't have partly paid up share. Have you heard about partly paid up share? That when the face value of share is say rupees 10 rupees and the company has called only 8 rupees on this share worth rupees 10, is that allowed normally? Sanjay, is that allowed? That the share of company is what? Worth rupees 10, but company has already or called 8, and still outstanding rupees 2 are there. Means what? Shares are worth rupees 8, but on paper you are having rupees 10 as value. So this is not allowed. All the unpaid call should be called, and the value of the share should be rupees 10. And if some person is not able to pay that 2 rupees, his share should be forfeited. Means what? All shareholders should be at par. समझ आ रहा है? हर एक के हाथ में शेयर क्या होना चाहिए? 10 रुपए बोले तो 10 रुपए भरा हुआ ही शेयर होना चाहिए. किसी के हाथ में 10 में से 8, किसी के हाथ में 10 से 5. Now that is not allowed. And last, it has made firm arrangement of finance through verifiable means towards 75% of its stated means of finance for a specific project to be funded by the issue proceeds, excluding the amount of what proposed public issue and so on. This is extra condition that suppose you are a new company, you are starting a new venture, and you have ordered the plant and machinery, and you are writing in your prospectus that we have such kind of arrangement, then that should be around 75% of what your stated mean of finance. Indirectly means what? You should have contributed something from your pocket, and arrangement for other finances are already been made, करेक्ट, व्हेन यू आर रेजिंग फंड्स थ्रू आईपीओ, मतलब कल जाके आईपीओ ही समझो फेल हो जाता है तो अल्टरनेटिव अरेंजमेंट अपने पास कुछ ना कुछ तो अवेलेबल है. इज दैट पॉसिबल है ना, दैट वी आर आस्किंग 100 crore rupees from investor, but investors are ready to pay only 80 crore under subscription of issue. Is that possible? हमने 100 करोड़ रुपए रेज करने चाहे, पब्लिक ने 75 करोड़ को ही क्या दिया, रिप्लाई दिया. संजय, आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? So can that be possible? Yes. So you should have what alternative arrangement and so. Okay. Then the amount for sorry the amount for general corporate purpose as mentioned in the object of the issue in the draft shall not exceed 25% being raised by the issuer. Means what? Now check out. Whenever you are raising funds, you have to give the explanation to the shareholders or proposed investor regarding how much you are collecting and for what purpose. There can be different purpose for an IPO. Is that possible, Sanjay? That Sanjay Limited is having an IPO to expand the plant. Hana Limited is having an IPO to collect the funds to take over business of Vikrant Limited. Vikrant Limited is having an IPO for the sake of what? Starting a new business. Not mentioned originally in the memorandum, but after altering memorandum, I'm going to start a new business. Different requirements are there or not? संजय, हर कंपनी का आईपीओ का पर्पस विल बी सेम और इट विल बी डिफरेंट? Different. So what is the logic? That read the condition, that the amount of general purpose as mentioned in the object of the issue shall not exceed 25% of the amount that is being raised by the company. So suppose Sanjay Limited is issuing 100 crore worth rupees share, and he is saying that out of that I will keep 60 crore rupees for general purpose. Normal company चलाने के लिए, general purpose के लिए मेरे को कितने चाहिए? 60 करोड़ चाहिए, and 40 crore are required for the sake of starting a new unit. Or this might be the requirement of the company or not, that we are in need of 100 crore, 60 crore will be for general purpose and 40 crore will be for new purpose. क्या ऐसा हो सकता है? Or is that possible? That Hana Limited is having what? Certain kind of problem, and she is raising 100 crore for the sake of what? General purpose. तो क्या ऐसा चलेगा, है ना? Is this allowed? Answer is no. Why? Because you are keeping around how much? 60% of the fund proceeds of the IPO for general purpose. तो जनरल पर्पस के लिए इतना बड़ा रकम अलाउ नहीं है. हाउ मच मैक्सिमम अलाउड? Not exceeding 25%. Means what? You can keep 25 crore as general purpose, but for 75 crore you should have a proper list and explanation regarding for what purposes you are going to expend the amount. Are you getting the point? So company को बोलना है, I am going to spend 25 crore on what? General purpose, 40 crore for new unit, and additionally how much? 35 crore for R&D. You have to mention the specific purpose and then it is allowed. Have you got the point? So you can't ask the money for general purposes. Okay. Then one more additional condition is there. The amount granted for, the amount for general corporate purpose and such objects where the issuer company has not identified acquisition or investment as target shall not exceed how much? 35%. So basic threshold is 25%, but in typical cases, it might be maximum 35%. We'll discuss this tomorrow. Are you getting the point? That company should earmark the proper kind of what? Purpose for when they are going to raise the funds. Have you got the point? Now these are the conditions what we discuss are for IPO 6.1. New condition is additional conditions for offer for sale. We just discussed what is offer for sale. What is offer for sale? In offer for sale, who is the party on one side? It is the promoter, correct? And who are the parties on another side? The common investor. In IPO, the sequence is different. In IPO, who is the party on one side? It is the company, correct? Company say selling new shares to the common investor. That is IPO. And in offer for sale, promoters are selling their securities. So what are the conditions when promoters are involved? Check out. The condition says, firstly, in case of what? Equity share received on conversion and so paid up company share, the holding period of, wait for a minute, I will highlight. Firstly, first simple condition is share should be fully paid. This is the first condition. So whatever shares promoters are selling, whole amount should be collected from the promoters first, and then they are allowed to sell their securities to the common investor. Secondly, the shares shall be held by the seller for a period of at least 1 year prior to the filing of draft offer. Now check out. In offer for sale, can you have huge profits? Or in offer for sale, promoter can earn huge profits or not? Yes. So it might be a tendency of the promoter to purchase the shares of the company from market before the issue and then sell it at a higher price. So, what is the strategy of promoters? That they are aware that company is going to what? Sell the shares in offer for sale mode. So they are buying at a cheaper price from market and they are selling at a higher price immediately. So whether this is insider trading, whether this is incorrect, are promoters who are aware what is going to happen in future, they are buying at their own and selling the shares at a higher price. Whether this is to be taken as incorrect or illegal or not. Sanjay, are you getting the point? That's why the rule suggests that such share should be in possession of such person for at least 1 year. Then, in case of equity share received on conversion of convertible securities and deposit receipt, the holding period of such depository receipts shall be considered for the purpose of calculation for that 1 year period. So, this is exception to this rule. Okay. Then, if the equity shares arising out of the convergence, so whole stories of convergence, so let us ignore that. This is a typical part. Non-applicability. The offer for sale of a government company or statutory authority or corporation or any special purpose vehicle set up and controlled by any one of them which is engaged in infrastructure sector. So the regulations and the conditions regarding offer for sale are not applicable for what? Sell by government company. Means what? Have you heard about disinvestment? Sanjay, have you heard about disinvestment, that the government sell its own shares to private parties? That is called as what? Disinvestment. But as per our logic, this might be offer for sale or not. Promoters themselves selling their securities to general public. Whether it is possible that government is the promoter of a government company and the government is selling such securities. So for that purpose, the rules and regulations regarding disinvestment are applicable and not these rules under regulation 8 and 8A. Okay. So government is the party or statutory authority is the party or company is the party and they are dealing in infrastructure sector. These provisions are not applicable. Second, equity shares offered for sale were acquired pursuant to scheme of approval by High Court and so on. So, if the approval of, the purchase of share itself is through the order of the court and now you are selling, then the provisions are not applicable to you. And lastly, if the equity shares offered for sale were issued under the bonus issue clause and a securities for a period for not least at least 1 year prior to the filing of draft offer, subject to condition that they got enough sufficient reserves and surplus, then these regulation 8 are not applicable. The simple reason is in offer for sale, you can sell your securities, but the share should be fully paid up and you should be owner of the share for at least 1 year. From exam point of view, you have to remember only these conditions. Okay. Then Regulation 8A prescribes that for the issues when draft offer is filed, shares offered to sell by public to shareholders individually or with a person acting concern not more than what 20% of pre-issue shareholding based on fully diluted basis shall not exceed more than 50% of the shareholding on fully diluted basis. Simply point is a promoters are not allowed to sell all of their shareholdings under offer for sale. उनके पास जितने पहले शेयर थे क्या वो सभी बेच सकते हैं ऑफर फॉर सेल में अच्छा भाव मिल रहा है इसलिए नो हाउ मच मैक्सिमम दे कैन सेल 20%. Have you got the point? That when promoters are allowed to sell the security, threshold is how much? Maximum 20%. And one, two more conditions are there. We'll check it out through an example. Then issuer of warrant. We are going to ignore this. We are to directly jump for what? FPO. And we will conclude the discussion for today. FPO means follow on public, yeah, further public issue. Now, following issuers are not eligible. Same logic is there. That following kind of what persons are not allowed to have and to have the FPO. First one, the issuer, the promoters groups, the selling holders are debarred. Second one, promoters, directors of the company which is debarred. Third one, promoters, directors are willful defaulter and fraudulent borrower. And lastly, they are fugitive offender. So these are the four conditions. So whether these four conditions are exact copy of earlier condition, अरे क्या ये चार ये पहले वाले की कॉपी है मिस्टर संजय? We just discussed there are conditions for eligibility norms for the IPO. है ना? Whether the same conditions are there, let us have a look, check out. इधर ही हमने देखा था. What are the conditions? First one, debarred. Second one, company is debarred. Third one, willful defaulter. Fourth one, fugitive. Correct. The last one, if there are any outstanding convertible securities, this party is not there under FPO. Have you got the point? So these conditions are restricted to only four first condition, that debarred parties, willful defaulters, fraudulent borrowers, and fugitive offenders are not allowed to have FPO. Okay. Then eligibility requirement for FPO. So who are not allowed? That is mentioned here, not eligible. And here we are talking about who are allowed. The issuer shall be eligible to make further public offer if it has not changed its name in last 5 years, in last 1 year period immediately preceding the date of filing the relevant offer document. Means what? Suppose you are running your business as what? Vikrant Scrap Merchants Limited. So what is my business? My business is to buy and sell scrap. So whether this can be taken as attractive investment opportunity to the investors. स्क्रैप बेचने वाला संजय क्या ये अट्रैक्टिव इन्वेस्टर है? Yes or no? What do you think? Let us compare it with other company. Suppose there are two companies. One company is what? Vikrant Scrap Merchant, and other company is what? Vikrant Infotech. Tell me, suppose you are an investor, in which company you are going to invest, in Vikrant Scrap or Vikrant Infotech? What is your opinion, Anna or Sanjay? What do you think? Which is good investment opportunity? Vikrant Scrap Industries Limited and Vikrant Infotech Limited. Traditional investor will go for what? Vikrant Infotech. because the name is carrying the word infotech, and assumption is I'm in software industry. There is huge growth potential for software. So the parties will go for Vikrant Infotech. Is that possible? Yes. But technically, what happened in reality that Vikrant scrap industry, the original kind of person who is dealing in scrap is going to rename his company as what Vikrant Infotech, and then he will go for FPO. क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि मैं असल में स्क्रैप वाला ही आदमी हूं, मगर मैं एफपीओ निकालने से पहले मेरा कंपनी का नाम क्या कर देता हूँ, इन्फोटेक कर देता हूँ. Now, whether there is any restriction in Companies Act regarding change in name, answer is no. Any business can have any kind of name. Whether there are restriction on the objectives and the business purposes under Companies Act, no. Company can have any kind of object. It should be legal only. That is only the condition. And you can change the object according to the wish of the shareholder. Are you getting the point? So the problem is this cheating? Are you getting the point that I'm a scrap merchant, but I'm keeping my name as Infotech and I'm selling the shares? So whether my intention might be to dupe the investor or not. संजय समझ आ रहा है? और मैं पब्लिक को फंसाने के लिए नाम चेंज कर रहा हूं, तो रूल क्या बोल रहा है? द इशूअर shall be eligible if it has not changed its name for at least 1 year period immediately preceding the date of filing the offer document. तो अभी मैंने चेंज किया और अगले महीने में ही एफपीओ लाया, इट इज नॉट अलाउड. द टाइम गैप इज नेसेसरी. So the point is, however, if an issuer had changed its name in last 1 year period, immediately preceding the date, correct, and issue shall make further public offer to at least 50% of the revenue of the preceding one final year is earned by the activity indicated by new name. So what is the twist? Check out. Suppose what was my original business? Vikrant Scrap. Okay. And how much I'm earning by selling scrap? Suppose my income, this is my P&L. Okay. And my sales are 200 crore. Okay. Now what I'm doing, I'm changing name of my company from Vikrant Scrap Limited to Vikrant Infotech. Correct. And what I'm having on credit side of my P&L, again sale of scrap of 200 crore. Now tell me, is this cheating to the investor or not? क्योंकि इन्वेस्टर क्या देखेगा कि विक्रांत का सेल कितना है, 200 करोड़ का. वो क्या नहीं देखेगा, व्हाट इज द सोर्स. करेक्ट? आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? बट सपोज आई जेन्युइनली चेंज माय बिजनेस फ्रॉम स्क्रैप टू सॉफ्टवेयर. इज दैट पॉसिबल? I am genuinely changing my business from scrap to Infotech, and in addition to this scrap sale of 200, I am having additional amount on credit of P&L sale of software, and I am earning 2,000 crore by way of sale of software. Is that also possible? A genuine case. Sanjay, are you getting the point? So what is happening now? Originally, I am collecting only 200. So out of my total sales of 200 crore, whole 100% is earned by sale of scrap. And here, out of my 2,200 crore, a small fraction is earned by my old name, correct?
Yes.
And a huge quantum is earned by a new name. So whether I'm a genuine case, that though I have changed my name from scrap to Infotech, I am really in Infotech business. Are you getting the point? So is this allowed or not? Yes. But go in opposite way. Suppose exact opposite position is there, that the name is Vikrant Infotech, sale of software is there for 20 crore, correct? And sale of scrap is there for 200 crore. Means what? A very small part of my earning are from software, which is denoted by my name. So is this a good thing or a bad thing for investor? Very good. So the rule suggests, however, at least 50% of the revenue of the preceding one full year has been earned by it from the activity indicated by the new name. So what is the new name? Vikrant Infotech. What is total sale? 2,200 crore. Out of that, 50% means 1,100 and more is earned by this particular part or not. Out of 2,200 crore, 2,000 are earned by software. So is this okay? Yes. So in that case, very good. In that case, we can have such type of issue. Okay. Correct. And the last point is again there. The issuer not satisfying the condition above means what? 1 year should be there and 50% of the revenue and so that part is not covered. Okay. And issuer is not satisfying the conditions stipulated above shall make the further public offer only if the issue is made through book building process and the issuer undertakes to allot 75% of the net offer to QIB. So it is just like 6-2 or not. They are prescribing a condition first, and if the condition is not satisfied, they are suggesting still you are eligible to get the funding, but 75% part should be collected by QIBs, collected from QIBs, and the system should be book building. Have you got the point? So suppose you have changed your name from Vikrant Scrap to Vikrant Infotech, still you can have FPO or not. You have changed your name from Scrap to Infotech, and a very small part of your income is there from sale of scrap, still you can have FPO, but the condition is the system should be of book building and 75% of what the total issued should be subscribed by whom? The QIBs. Have you got the point? Sanjay, समझ आ रहा है? So this is the way out. Okay. I think it is enough for today. संजय कुछ सीखा क्या? 2 पॉइंट नए. टेल मी अबाउट 2 न्यू थिंग्स व्हाट वी लर्न टुडे. है ना? तू भी बोल क्या हमने 2 चीजें नहीं सीखी. वेरी गुड. एंड द एलिजिबिलिटी कंडीशंस इन डिटेल थोड़ा तो हमने देख लिया. करेक्ट. So in your paper, if you got a question on this, now you will be able to understand what is going on. Correct? Very good. हाँ बोलना. Okay, we will discuss it tomorrow because tomorrow one hour is fixed for writing paper. How much to write and how to write, because we have not seen the cases. The typical problem arises when you are writing answer to the case type of question. Okay, so tomorrow remind me. I will give you the format. Thank you. Hana, समझ आया कुछ? Okay. Chalo, enough for today. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.